То есть, получается, что я буду запустить прямо с этого теста. А как запустить ее прямо с этого теста?
Hi guys, it's Friday, so we have our regular AMA. I'm like in another location because there is some problem with Wi-Fi, so I at my desk now. So let's get started. And we do it like the usual way. So first we discuss what was happening in Waves last week. Then you ask me questions. Any questions are allowed. So there is no moderation here, so you can ask me anything as always. And after that, we will also have our usual raffle for Waves Army hashtag. So let's get started. So what was happening last week? Basically, we were struggling with the bridges, and let's start with the bridges because as far as I understand, this is a very hot topic, and this problem is still not resolved. So let's start with the bridges. So we have been fixing the bridges because there was some problem with the transaction ordering, and we couldn't process the transactions in correct order. So as you know, we process transactions slowly now, and we need some time to actually process all the outstanding transactions, but we couldn't process them chronologically. So now it is fixed, and now we are moving forward with the processing. This is, I think, very important, and I think it's good news. What is the plan with the bridges? So as you know, there is a decentralized bridges project that WX will be integrating. And they're pretty close to that. The integration has started. ETA is next week. So I think bridges are very important, and effectively there is going to be some kind of relaunch of WX. And maybe we will discuss it later next week, what will be happening, because I think it's important to, make sure that everything works smoothly, and it's time to move forward with this without forgetting about some issues that we had. So all the issues should be resolved, and we should actually make sure that the relaunch WX network works without any issues. Yes, there is a lot of questions about gateways, guys, but I'm please listen to what I'm saying. We are processing the withdrawals, and we have resolved the issue with incorrect ordering. So a lot of transactions have been sent today. So please bear with us. The situation will be resolved. So please actually be a little bit more patient, because everything is going to be resolved. As for Bitcoin withdrawals, we have been focusing on Ethereum, and that's why we actually have been trying to resolve them. And Bitcoin withdrawals will be resolved as well now. I understand that a lot of people have been waiting for weeks, so we'll try to compensate that in some way, but the resolution is pretty close. I will discuss it like in maybe a little bit in more length later. So let's move on to some other things that we were doing this week. And I think a very important thing is our charity effort for Turkey. I want to thank Waste community for participating. We sent the first batch of goods to affected regions in Turkey. And we will increase our efforts, and it will become a part of like Power DAO platform. We will launch a DAO on Power platform that will be actually helping Turkey cope with this disaster, which is really bad, and it's a very bad situation. And I think every little helps, and we all should be helping Turkey in the situation. So we are doing our best. We are trying to do our best. I think if we launch child DAO of Power Platform for Turkey relief, it can be quite effective, because I think this approach is very good for charity. We will be working on that starting from next week. At the same time, there's going to be the launch of Power DAO, the app, next week. After that, we will do the second stage of the airdrop. I think it's going to happen in about 2 weeks. Power token airdrop to Waves holders. And we will be launching Waves DAO. Waves DAO is a child DAO that is dedicated to Waves ecosystem, because Power DAO is like more generic platform. But at the same time, we need to use it for Waves. So Waves DAO will be launched I think around March. And at the same time, we will be working on charity DAO for Turkey. So what are the things? Problems, progress. So Vires. I announced the Vires proposal. This proposal basically is coming from myself. I think it's a good move to somehow make process of like releasing the funds from Vires more straightforward, actually. So in a nutshell, it's gonna work like that. There's gonna be some kind of relaxing the restrictions on importing and exporting LP tokens on Vires. So you'll be able to import and export your tokens without any limitations. There's going to be an increase of vesting limits for USD there. And this proposal is going to be up for voting, I think, starting from tomorrow. It's pretty complicated technically, because there is like a lot of things that happened on Vires, so it's kind of hard to code all those things in such a way that nothing gets broken. That's why we had to spend a whole week working on that implementation, but now you can vote. And I think it's a good proposal, because you will be able to import and export your LP tokens from Vires without any restrictions. And also there is an increase of vesting limits. So I think it's a good proposal, which will make things much simpler, because there is like a lot of things on Vires that were meant to somehow like protect smaller investors, but that led to the fact, for example, that there was like some kind of blacklists for bots and some limits on importing the tokens back. So it was kind of complicated. And I think it's time to make things more simple and move on with the final resolution of Vires situation. What next? Index, XTN. So we have been implementing the plan that had been announced before regarding transition of USDN to XTN model, index model. The plan was accepted by the community, and now we have to basically do the coding. We're almost done. All the necessary changes will be implemented next week, and after that we will donate first batch of tokens to index XTN treasury. Yes, so I think I covered most topics, and now I'm ready to reply to our questions, discuss the bridges more in length, and yeah, so ask me anything. Hi guys from Turkey. I'm really glad to see you all here. So yeah, so we are trying to do our best for Turkey under the circumstances. And I really hope that our DAO will be useful, you know, so it's not that we are trying to, you know, use it for marketing. No, I think if we do some kind of like a charity model that people like, and they need to understand that it's transparent, there is some like proofs of correct spending of the funds, you know, and also people who participate in the charity actively somehow like benefit from this, you know, so they maybe not like financially, but they become like better known in the community, so there is some kind of like reputational benefit from this, and there can be also some kind of like financial gain, because there's this power model that basically gives you power tokens when the community thinks that you do a good job. So if it is the case, basically you get paid in power, you know, so it's charity, but if you're like, if you really work for the community benefit, you are rewarded. So I think it's a nice model for charity, and if it works, I think we'll be able to raise a lot of funds for Turkey, and everybody will see that all the transactions, all the deliveries, everything that this charity DAO is doing is transparent and effective. So guys, let's work on that. I think that could be important. Do you think yeah, a lot of questions about gateways. Guys, if you, a lot of people message me in Telegram with their transactions. I'm trying to prioritize them. I'm trying to send them to support. You can basically do that again. And I understand that a lot of people are unhappy. I would be unhappy as well if I were you. So guys, let's just resolve this so everybody is happy again. Some guys from Korean community, always happy to see Koreans here, the biggest waves holders in the world somehow. And they ask about Upbit situation. We are talking to Upbit. They have some more questions about XTN. We send the answers, so I can't tell you whether they like I don't know if there is a warning. I guess you can't deposit waves on Upbit at the moment. So you can withdraw what you can't deposit. I hope it will be lifted. At least we are like answering all their questions. And I think we're moving forward with this. Also, we'll be doing more promotion in the Korean community. We are like finding some inroads because we've never done any promotion in Korea, despite a very active traders community in Korea who had been buying a lot of waves. So, but we were not involved. And I think now it's time to reach out to the Korean community and make sure that we are on the same page. At least they know that Waves is not just a token, but a platform where you can do a lot of things. And to that end, we are trying to do some marketing in Korea, trying to find influencers who could help us. And we are working with exchanges to resolve all those like questions, that had emerged last year. I see a lot of familiar faces. We from Korea. Hi, my friend. Uh, Hasla Krovitsa is asking about why I prioritize people who message me on Telegram. You can find my Telegram. You can ask somebody. It's not complicated. And message me. Waves Philippines. We need to do some promotion in the Philippines for sure. XDUP is not a final Vires resolution. There are still legacy USDC depositors, and please don't tell us to convert to XTM. You don't have to. I agree with you. So maybe it's not like a final resolution, of course. Maybe it's just like the first step towards the final resolution. So you don't have to convert, of course, but actually, I think it does make sense to convert, in my opinion, because in this way, you basically get things started for you, so you can withdraw, you can at least have some liquidity, but if you don't want to, it's up to you. And maybe we'll come up with some option to somehow start liquidating those unvested deposits as well. Don't you think that 500 days is far too much for small fish? I think Namom Alenkar is speaking about Virus. I think it is a lot, and that's why we try to prioritize smaller investors before. But now you will be able to basically withdraw your LP token. And since importing it back is allowed now, I think that will create an active market for your LP tokens. So if you can't wait, I think, at least this is a plan. And I think it's gonna work, because the problem was you couldn't import those tokens back. So you could just sell your token to somebody, but that somebody couldn't do anything with your token. But now they will be able to import it and basically receive your vesting. And you will be able to sell your LP token and be done with it. Maybe with a small loss, but it's up to you. At least there is this option. So, and I understand that a lot of people can't wait. And in this case, they could find somebody to sell their tokens to. So smaller guys, smaller investors will be able to basically sell it on the open market, maybe with a small loss, but we try to compensate in different ways, so there was some like a bonus for stock liquidity, 5%. There were like a lot of things, so we are doing our best to make sure that people are made whole, but it takes time. So if you can't wait, I think it's okay that there's an option for you to do something, and we're not like pushing you to do it. Of course, we're not like convincing you to like sell your LP tokens or anything. It's just an option. So I'm not advertising it. I'm just telling that there's going to be this opportunity for you. Nick, hi Nick, our long-time supporter, Nick Barella from the UK, as far as I know. Do you think we will achieve the roadmap for WX? Yes, I think we will. Please wait for some announcements, because I think, as I said at the beginning, we would need to basically relaunch it in a way on the new domain. So to make sure that so there is no this like interference between old gateways and the new bridges. I think it's not like starting from scratch, because it would be impossible to do so, but at least there should be product which doesn't have any legacy, so which doesn't have any problems leftovers from like the old gateways. XTM, which was a stable coin, as you know, but we had to phase it out as such. So yeah, so there is a lot of things happening on WX. For example, they launched amazing swaps last week. I forgot to mention they are on-chain swaps. As you know, there is like a very different mechanics on WX. It's a DEX, but it's on like order book DEX. But now WX added like maybe more widespread option to do swaps on chain. And now you can change any tokens, swap any tokens on WX, not through the order book, but directly, the way you do it on Uniswap. And there is a lot of projects in the pipeline that are being launched, and basically we are sticking to our roadmap. And a very important development will be margin trading on WX, and WX guys will try to do it as fast as possible. Another question from the Korean community. And actually, I answered it, but I will repeat the question and my answer. Did you apply for cancellation of notice to Upbit, the Korean exchange? When will it be released? As far as I understand, you're asking about the situation with waves on Upbit. There is some kind of like block of deposits on Upbit for waste tokens. And we are like in constant discussion with them. They had some questions regarding XTM. We answer them. And I think we are moving forward. So resolution will happen soon of the situation. And as I said, we started to do some marketing in the Korean community, and we will be ramping it up. When the Mother DAO and the Waves DAO. So Mother DAO, the app, will be launched next week. And after that, we will be starting Waves DAO. At the same time, working on the charity DAO. Was Wave School a scam? If not, why the channel gone? I actually, yes. Somebody asked me, but I didn't have time to find out. It couldn't. Why are saying that was a scam? It's like, I think there is some like I think that we did it like with an external team, Wave School, and now we plan to do it internally because that was a test run. We understood that basically it worked, and now we need to scale it. So we decided to do that using our own marketing resource in Waves Labs. So it's not like it's a resource of Waves Labs, and Waves Labs is a company that works in the Waves ecosystem. It's like a for-profit company, and basically it's in charge of like some part of marketing that is happening within Waves. And I think it makes sense for them to take over the Wave School and develop it further. So why the channel was shut down, I will find out. I can't tell you. I don't know the situation there in detail. I know the general plan because that was discussed. And the plan is to basically do the whole thing kind of in-house now. When will the new stablecoin be released? I think we will have to wait until the situation is more stable. There is a lot of volatility now in Waves and around Waves and in crypto in general. So until people are not like trying to kill me with questions about the bridges, and the Vires, so it's not a good moment, So let's just resolve the current problems because the new stable coin idea is kind of like formulated and finalized, I would say even. But we won't launch it until there is no like interference from other things, because we're not going to launch it to to resolve some problems, because it has to work in its own right, and there has to be no like legacy, some kind of like influence from some issues, so we will wait for the right time, because after the XTN situation, I understand that it's pretty serious, like launching a stablecoin is a very serious thing under current conditions. And there shouldn't be any risk, so we need to plan it out carefully and launch it at the right time and make sure that it works according to plan. What will be LP import limits? Vires.Finance is asking. Hello, by the way. I think there won't be any, actually, for at least legacy markets. Yes. Whale accounts won't be able still to import, but legacy markets will. Twitter contest that I didn't finalize. I will, guys, sorry, too many things to take care of, and Twitter changed their API, so we couldn't do it with a script, but we'll do that next week. Sorry for taking too much time with this. Explain the new mechanics of vesting. 100 million is vesting pool. It can be more. I think when we have moved forward like far enough with the first 100 million, we will be adding more. So we will add more like whales accounts to that. Snapshot for waves holders for power token. Alan Lido is asking. 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks, guys. Like proverbial 2 weeks. Because we need to launch the app, and it's gonna take probably next week. And after that, like the week after next, we will make the waves balances snapshot. So you still have like about 2 weeks to withdraw your waves from centralized exchanges. Power token staking, when? Good question from J Crypto. Soon. We need to launch the app, and after that, you have to vote for stuff using your power tokens. And I think that will happen either next week or the week after next. Hi, Sasha, when will the XTN value be fixed up towards $1? So the plan is basically the following. We have to implement the changes that were accepted by the community. And after that, we will donate ecosystem tokens as promised. And that will kick off basically this process of like adding more value to the treasury, and that should be like reflected in the price of XTN, obviously. If I didn't reply you on Telegram, please message me again, because I get a lot of messages. Not only sorry, not only about stock transactions, but a lot of other messages as well. And I will try to make sure that your transactions could be prioritized. And also, I think there is this option to cancel your transaction if you can't wait. And in this case, you can basically try to exit your position through, for example, buying waves. So if you want to have your withdrawal canceled, you can also reach out to me, for example, and it can be done. Drink some tea, it will help your throat. Thank you. People are asking me about my health all the time, but today I'm really feeling not so well, so kind of like I bet the power of staking APY will be great. It will be good. It doesn't have to be crazy, but it should be good, because the idea is to create some kind of like universal basic income through this, so you participate in PowerDAO platform governance actively, not just like formally, but you are being active basically. Yeah, so you maybe not come up with your own proposals, but you like consciously vote for other people's proposals and like help resolve maybe some issues within child DAOs, and you have to be rewarded for this. So it can be some kind of job actually for you, So the idea is to create some kind of like universal basic income for Power platform participants, and it requires some staking rewards, which can be crazy, but they should be lucrative. What are you doing to attract new developers to the ecosystem? So we have been running a hackathon with a third party, and now we're like doing Waves Camp, program, which basically is just starting. We will add a lot of things to it. And there's also this upcoming release. I would call it like Waves 1.5. Maybe it's not like Waves 2.0, but maybe like it's pretty close. So there's going to be a substantial upgrade to the network. It will be much faster. So the idea is to basically create a network that can process maybe 10 times as much transactions as it is possible to process now. So basically, it's going to be a very fast network, and this is going to be a very interesting step towards Waves 2.0. And Waves 2.0, I think, will include some other things. I'm thinking about and discussing with developers now some ZK approaches and some other stuff. So after that, I think we will focus on attracting more developers to the ecosystem. Also, probably we will somehow, one way or another, will have EVM. And the idea is EVM is like, Ethereum virtual machine, which is important for developers. And we could have it like, we could have had it like a long time ago, but it has to like bring some value, not only to Waves, but in general. So the trick is to make sure that EVM edition is done for like not only for attracting new developers or for hype, but people will use it not like during like the first year, but forever, So, and it's quite tricky because there is a lot of projects with the EVM now, and there's a lot of competition. So it's kind of hard to implement something that hasn't been invented by you in such a way that it is valuable, So, but we are moving forward. So I think we'll come up with a plan to introduce EVM to Waves soon. Can BTC withdrawal be prioritized through Waves customer service or only by you? So we are like in this AMA with me, So it's like, so I'm not responsible for Waves Exchange customer service, but I can message them. So if you message me, I can message them. You need to solve the liquidity problem. Kemal is like very wisely writing, and I agree with you. That's what we are doing. Why the very situation? Did you withdraw your support? No. I'm supporting everything, and basically I'm like responsible for Vires, and I accepted that responsibility publicly, so it's not going to be withdrawn. So Wave School had a one month active contest with a reward of 500 Waves, but I think it was paid and then they closed, right? I'll find out. Sorry, I'll message. Any updates on SwapFi? Yes, there is like two directions of development there, because I'm in contact with the guys as well. I'm not like, so guys, so let's make things clear. So I'm not talking to everybody on Waves, to all projects on Waves, but I do talk to a few of them: WX, SwapFi, DAX, Vires, PowerDAO, and you can consider me like some kind of advisor, or okay, I can be like responsible for them, So, and SwapFi is moving forward. There's like two directions of development there. not announced yet, but maybe I can give you some kind of taste, some kind of teaser. So one is like leveraged pools, where you can borrow liquidity and provide it to the pools. And the other is my idea, actually, some like more advanced AMA for the pools. AMM, automated market making. So there's like Uniswap pools where you have this, what is like on-chain liquidity pools. It's automatic market making. It's automated market making, basically, which you can do on-chain, which means like sending only blockchain transactions. And if you do it the way it's done on Ethereum, you are bound to use only very simple models because it has to be done on chain, and there is like not too many room there, so. But if you do it on waves it's different because you have a very different model from Ethereum. For example, you can have a decentralized pool where only the depositors can take their money back and nobody else. But the pool itself is managed by a robot, basically by a bot, by like off-chain bot, it's like trading bot, for example. I think it's very hard to do that on Ethereum, like much harder than on Waves, because we have a different account model on Waves. And my idea is to basically manage those pools to somehow like redistribute liquidity within the pool through a trading bot, basically. And there is some like team we're cooperating, like some kind of a separate team that works on neural network implementation for trading. I think neural networks, actually, everybody knows about ChatGPT. There's a big hype around ChatGPT now, and I was doing neural networks before, like maybe 10 years ago. So it's very interesting for me. And I think we'll try to combine basically neural networks with automatic market making. And this is another direction of development for swap.fi. Wait for the announcement because we are discussing this with the team. I'm discussing it with the team. But I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Yes, I can't wait for the gateways issue to be sorted. The XX Telegram is horrendous. I agree with you. It's not a good situation. WX is so dysfunctional. Yes, but it will be very functional very soon. But why is XTN prioritized over legacy? XDub is asking. Because there is a way to release them. This is a question. This is a reply, basically, because there is XTN only in collateral. So XTN can be released, right? So if you want to release your funds, the easiest way to do that is through XTN vesting. That's why. Guys, please send me messages, but I think after AMA, I'll be like, I'll check them in the evening. I have to like, be offline for a while. Is algorithmic USDT investment being worked on to regain losses? It's like I think we don't like currently we basically work on some stuff, but so, basically there is some kind of like, so how to explain, so it's like, so I don't create more FUD, so this problem can be resolved with money, currently. We need to come up with solutions with like things that work, so potentially if there is some kind of a team within the basic ecosystem that is able to trade through some like algos efficiently, I think you will know about that, so but obviously if you're asking what money we use for that, no, we are not trading, we're like just looking into different directions. And if we have a product, that's when you will know about that. I hear a lot of chat about canceling transactions now. Many may want to reinvest now rather than trying to exit. Yes, transactions can be canceled. It's tricky with current gateway setup, but you can reach out to me and I will forward your requests. Please probably don't flood Waves Exchange support with that. I can be responsible for this for a while at least. So send it to me and we will see. I will forward it to WX support, and your transactions can be canceled, I guess. Maybe not immediately, but I think that can be an option because you can exit through buying waves, for example, if you don't want to wait. But as I said at the beginning, we've sorted that problem with chronological, like time ordered processing of transactions. And basically the first payment was after that was done in the morning. So like all the transactions were processed. Yeah, guys, about Wave School. Sorry, I will message now. I like so many things to do, So let me just post a message in Telegram about Wave School, so I don't forget this. Okay. I will tell you. Maybe they will reply me right now. Maybe later. But in any case. What about Waste 2.0? I discussed it just now, but I will maybe repeat. So we basically broke it down into two parts, and the first part can be executed fast. It will increase the potential throughput on Waves, I think, tenfold. And after that, probably the trickier part would be to integrate EVM on Waves in such a way that it makes sense, So, and this is still not finalized. So a lot of like things can be done. And I'm thinking about different options. But I can tell you that the first stage is kind of finalized, and it's like the development is ongoing, and I think it's not going to take us too long, and it's going to be very, very interesting, guys. But I'm already thinking about like this EVM implementation and some kind of like sharding, or maybe some kind of other setup, L2 setup. So it's not so easy now to do something like valuable, not only for Waves, but in general, and we're not going to do anything that makes sense only for us, because we need to make sure that what we do makes sense for the whole of blockchain industry, so so we need to come up with something that nobody has done before. Integrating EVM is not difficult. It's simple, but it doesn't make sense. If we just, for example, launch a side chain with EVM, it's too simple, so, and probably people will use it, but we need to make sure that this is sustainable and people will be using it not only right after launch, but for years to come. And this thing is harder, actually. So, but as I said, and I will repeat, the first part of the new Waves is kind of like finalized conceptually, and we are working on implementation currently. And the second part is being actually discussed. The second part includes EVM, sharding, side chains, ZK bridges, and like several other things. And I think we will have the answer maybe in March. Bridges should be #1 priority. Yeah, they are actually. They are. Paying withdrawals must be your first priority, but it is. It is. So you are planning to merge legacy and non-legacy bank again at some point. It's regarding the Vires, obviously. So yeah, so if someone doesn't want to actually shift to the vesting mode, I think we will be, at some point in time, we will have to sell XTN that basically stays in the collateral for those accounts and send you USDT. But we can't do that now, because now if we did that, the selling pressure would be too high, and people from legacy who chose the vesting option wouldn't be able to sell at a good price. So this is this thing here. It can be done, but it should be done slowly, so we don't crash the price completely. Booba, coming late to the AMA, so to ask, how about Power DAO launch and airdrop snapshot? I will repeat, no problem. So next week, the DApp of Power DAO is launching, hopefully with staking. I think we'll manage next week, and voting. And after that, we will do the airdrop. So the next stage of the airdrop turns out to be in about 2 weeks. As always, everything happens in 2 weeks. Nick, thank you. You do like you need to rest though, so I'm not really feeling well. Yeah, this is true. But it's okay. since there have been some big changes in the WX token smart contract, can you maybe propose to unlock the WX? Actually, maybe, yes, I think it might be a good idea. A lot of people don't want to. X DAP is probably messaging about Vires. Okay, I understand. So, but let's move on with this resolution, of legacy accounts. First, why don't you work to release all your small fish now? I explained, guys. It messes up the whole process, actually, because there is so many restrictions because of those like prioritization of smaller fish accounts. But you can do it like in a different way. You can actually create some kind of like active market for LP tokens so that the smaller accounts can exit through exporting their LP tokens and selling them on the open market. So because I understand that like smaller accounts should be made whole faster, but probably it can be done this way, because if you have not so much liquidity in Vires, it's going to be easier for you to find a buyer for your LP token. So, and in this case, we can also allow people who don't want to wait to exit their positions through exporting, their LP tokens. And it will make things simpler, in my opinion. Any plans for whale negotiations? If you're a whale, reach out to me. I'll negotiate with you. Alameda accounts are waiting for bankruptcy trustee. And there is one actually, and there is some interaction, but it's not going to be released anytime soon, obviously. Guys, please stop messaging the same thing over and over. So it's not going to help you. And if you're trying, FOD doesn't help if you're trying to put some pressure, okay, because we've been under pressure for the whole history of waves. It's not only last year, we've been under pressure since 2016. So but we are still here, and all the problems are being resolved always. So please just wait, and we'll try to make sure that maybe you can get some additional compensation for waiting. Are user funds backed or not? It's not FOD, it's just an honest question. You need to understand that there is a very, very small amount of funds, outstanding funds. I mean, not backing funds, but funds in general, on the Waves exchange. And there is a situation with different directions, Smart Chain, Polygon, and there has to be some audit currently, so and this is it basically, so, and there is a couple issues that we had to face because there was this crazy withdrawal pressure the whole year. I think around $500 million has been withdrawn. So, so I would say that the funds are backed with some margin error, which stems from a lot of things, fees, so there was some process for LP staking on Waves, that were not like probably perfect. And so and the if you think that there is a big problem there, you're like mistaken, you know, because basically current gateways don't have much liquidity because it has been withdrawn. You know, it's not because there is not like backing tokens, because the whole last year, there was like a lot of bad things in crypto in general, and in waves actually we were somehow impacted. So people basically took all their funds out, you know. And there is some issues with rebalancing because you don't really expect the situation. And if people like you say like, yeah, they have to be backed, sure, they're backed, but you know, but there is some like technical process that is happening under the hood. For example, rebalancing or like LP staking. There is some issues with like fees, unprocessed transactions. So like it's kind of, you know, when the situation is good, you don't see this, you know. So but when there is some like pressure, those like issues, they come to light, you know. And now we're like making sure that no funds will be lost, and we're making sure that the old gateways remain operational, but at the same time we are moving to the new bridges. So please, you can ask like the same question over and over like 100 times, it's okay, you know, but it wouldn't affect anything. All the withdrawals will be processed and everybody will be made whole, and old gateways will be working. But on top of that, we will have the new bridges, which will be transparent. And those questions that we are facing with the old gateways basically were launched like a long time ago. And I think they did need some kind of like improvement or like revamp. All those questions, all those issues won't be happening with the new bridges like at all, because they would become like impossible. Will you have cheese, enchiladas, or sushi for dinner tonight after the EMA, or both? I have not eaten sushi for maybe, I don't know, maybe for half a year, I don't remember. And I don't really know what enchiladas are. Some Mexican stuff, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna have. Don't have any appetite right now, to be honest. Maybe I caught some I don't know what. What a cheap excuse to justify the stolen funds from the gateways. Nothing has been stolen. And guys, you need to like be able to walk the talk, you know. So if you show that something has been stolen, like, you know, you like saying that I challenged a lot of people like that, like, you know, during last year. It's a bad challenge, but it's okay, I can repeat it. So just show me where the funds are and you will have it. So you say, I guess funds went there, you know. So okay, here's a private key, you are able to have it. I do not have your funds, like, because you know, guys, I've been in crypto not to make money. I believe it or not. I like the idea. So, and it's not always working out, and because there's still a lot of like FOD and pressure, because crypto deals with money and people are crazy about money. Money is the worst drug, probably, you know. So, but if you look at Wave's history, you will understand that we probably you know, I can't say that we had similar issues before, but we had different issues, you know, but they have always been resolved, and the same will happen this time as well. So What can I tell you? Everything will be resolved, as always. Do you like kimchi? I like Korean food. I think it's great, actually. It's very good. It's very healthy. It's not too spicy, and it has a lot of vegetables and meat, so it's like perfect. Just stop explaining this to all the people who ask 100 times over and over. This is my job, I'm sorry. It's like, because I feel responsibility. You spent users that USD to buy USD and to recover. It's not true, Aaron. It's not true. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up for now. So thank you for your patience. I'm here with you as always. So reach out to me on Telegram. Maybe I'll not respond to you like immediately. Maybe a little bit later in the evening. So stay tuned. A lot of things are coming. I'm not like maybe too enthusiastic today, but not because of like some bad stuff, but I'm just feeling unwell somehow. So I'm gonna probably go eat something and maybe, I don't know, try to do some sports a little. So stay tuned. A lot of things are coming. Resolving bad stuff, creating good stuff. Everything is on its way. Power to the people, ride on waves. See you next week. Have a nice, productive week. Thank you, guys. See you next week.